So this isn't some woo-woo stuff. We're talking like science. We're
This is
talking, guys, we're
yeah.
talking like what goes on in your brain when you see what you want. We're not
Mhm.
talking about the universe or God. I love it. I love my friends. I love Josiah. I love everyone who is religious and into spirituality, but we're talking about science here. We're talking about research. We're talking about things that have actually been proven to help you not just to get what you want and to envision your future. So I just want to make that clear.
Yes, yes, very much. And that's what was the game changer for me is, yes, I love, woo-woo and spirituality and God, but I needed a I needed to understand how it worked. So I understanding something from the scientific level was the game changer for me, and understanding that I can create neural networks in my brain that wire and make my filter look for certain things in my environment that will make me aware of opportunities. Maybe it's overhearing a conversation when you are out to eat and you hear a person at the next table talking about how they have a distressed house and they just don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Would you have heard that conversation, 2, 3 years ago or however long? If you weren't focused on this, you wouldn't have picked up on that.
No.
But because you're training your awareness to bring you opportunities, you heard it, you picked up on it. So your brain is bringing in, and I initially thought it was 11 million, but I heard Bruce Lipton say 40 million bits of information every second. And then, so
Wow.
that's your subconscious mind. That is your senses bringing in, sensations, feelings, things around you, sounds. And then your conscious mind, what you're, aware of, can only process between 40 to 50. So being able to customize and tell your brain what to pay attention to has a profound impact on how you experience reality, because what you are going about in your day and what you're paying attention to is what you're going to experience. So if I am focused on how everybody's talking about me, everybody treats me negatively, people are laughing at me, then I'm going to pick up on those things. But if I have made a conscious effort to focus on, I'm a badass, I don't need anybody else to tell me, to validate me. I can do anything if I really want to. I'm amazing. Like all these things, or, I'm trying to look at something. I want to travel to this place. Well, then I might, be scanning my email and I see an ad for, a deal, Groupon to that place. And, I might not have seen that before. So it's not all woo woo stuff. It is science you're picking up because you have so much coming at you every day, and the opportunities for what you want are out there. You just might be missing them. And you're training your intuition too. So your intuition is also scientific. It's not just energy or anything like that. I think it's like neurons in your gut or something like that. I need to learn more about that. But your gut is a legit thing. And so following your intuition, like, go talk to that person or ask them this question. Following that is super important because maybe there is a reason that you're drawn to them, and they have a problem that you need to solve or you can solve, or things like that. So going down that road and intentionally training your brain to pay attention to things.
So that's
And
what a vision board is in the end.
yes,
Basically,
yeah,
is a
sorry, I
vision
got a
board
little.
is no, you're okay. I'm just trying to bring it back. So basically, you create a vision board in order to look for the things that you want. Is the idea?
Yes, yes, creating a vision board to bring into your awareness opportunities to get the things you want. And also it creates a map, because ultimately if your sights are way up here but you're still down here, having your focus still up here is going to create, your brain's going to look for a map of how to get there. As long as you stay focused on it, that's
So
That's
what do you
your
do with it? What do you, because I actually don't have a vision board yet. It's something I
Mhm,
was going to do this Saturday. So this is actually very good timing. So what do I do with it? I create it
mhm,
and then I look at it. But what am
mhm,
I actually doing when I'm looking at it? I could stare at pictures of things that I want, but
mhm,
is it just the staring? Is there something I should be thinking about? What's the process after you, because what you I think how I understand the process is you get a board,
mhm,
you put on pictures of stuff you want on it, and
mhm.
then how do you practice actually envisioning what you want?
Yeah.
What does that actually mean?
So the pictures you put on it are very important because they don't you don't wanna just go and find pictures in a magazine and be like, "Oh, that's pretty. I'll put that on there. Oh, that's pretty." You want to
Right.
think about what you're gonna put on there before, and then my advice is go online and look for pictures of that, and then the ones that you feel something when you look at them, pick those ones. So be selective about the pictures you put on there. And when you how you use it, so how I use mine is early in the morning when I get up, I make my coffee and I'm still in kind of that, sleepy, relaxed state. And I come in and I drink my coffee and I look at my vision board. And so what I'm doing is I don't stare at each individual picture every day, and it's not just about staring at them. So I just kind of glance around at everything and kind of see what I'm feeling, what I'm drawn to that morning, and then I'll look at it and then I'll imagine myself in that house. I'll feel the carpet under my feet. I'll put myself I'm drinking my coffee in that chair on the balcony. I'm inviting all my family over and I can see my family in that room and there's snow falling outside and we're all, the fire's on and we're all cozy and things like that. I have a picture of myself speaking up there. So I'll I'll feel how it felt before I went on that stage, or I'll feel how it feels, how empowering it is to be, speaking to and inspiring that crowd. Or, you know, one thing okay, so put things on there that you've already done too, because that tells your brain this is a board of things that I've already done, or this is entirely true for me. So put things on there that you've already done, put small things on there that are easily achievable. So the first thing that I manifested, and yes, I know that's a woo-woo word, but I'm going to use it even though it is purely
You're
science.
fine. It's okay.
Yeah, was was tickets to a comedy show that was sold out.
Hmm.
And yeah, so I bought 2 tickets, but they were separate. They were in 2 separate places. And so I kept envisioning 2 tickets together. Somebody didn't show up and we got to sit together. And
Nice.
yes, and it happened right in front of me, the row right in front of me. There were 2 seats, packed house, 2 seats right in front of me that the couple didn't show up. And so we sat there.
Love
So,
it. Was that
yeah,
you and
so
your husband?
yeah, yeah.
Nice. Love it.
So put things on there that and then put really big things on there. And why you want to put really big things on there, even if they feel a lie right now, the more you expose yourself to it and the more you look at it, the more true it's going to become. And then, so it might be 10% true and then 30% true. And then when you look at it, it no longer feels impossible or so far away.
I love the way you just said that it doesn't feel lie, because that's the issue almost
Mm
always. If you have a goal that's lofty, for me,
hmm.
it's
Mm hmm.
1.25 million in wholesale deals this year. The thing is, that sounds huge, but the more I say it out loud, the more true it becomes. The more I say it on podcasts, the more I say it on Instagram, the closer and closer I get to that goal, because it feels much, much, much more achievable. Right. So I
Yes.
just love that. That was a great phrasing. I just want to throw that out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, no, you're fine. Yeah, and using your phone is a really powerful tool too, because think of how many times a day you pick up your phone. So putting something go on Canva and make yourself a background for your phone. And then every
What's Canva?
time Canva is the coolest I don't know if it's an app or it's a site and an app, the coolest site in the world, and you can create like, beautiful graphics. So mine says, I am enough.
Ooh, I like.
Because that was something, that I struggled with too, was just not feeling worthy and not feeling I was enough. So make yourself something that you want to instill and be true for you, because your brain goes and it looks for confirmation in your environment to enforce your beliefs. So, I mean, everybody can understand that, because if you're talking to anybody who has really strong beliefs in one direction, it is nearly impossible to get them to even hear anything else, and they will
Right.
see all the evidence to support their belief, and they don't even acknowledge anything else. So repetitive exposure combined with emotion really solidifies those neural networks, and then the more you fire it, the more true it becomes. So I put "I'm a millionaire" to come up on my phone 3 times a day, and at first I would look at it and be like, "Well, that's a lie, you are not." And then after, I don't know, probably like 3 months it didn't feel like a lie anymore. And now I have no doubt in my mind that, I will become a millionaire. So, or I am a millionaire, it's just not in my bank yet. So, put those big things on there, and it's okay. Accept that it will feel a lie at first. But don't give up. Just accept it. Don't judge it. Don't judge those feelings, but just stay with it. Look at it, feel it, let it go. And then the next day, look at it, feel it, let it go. You know? So keep at it.
I love it. I love it so much. That's such a good thing. So, Sarah, this is like a different question. I'm about to sneeze. I was hoping I could
Oh,
sneeze
yeah.
before while you were still talking. It's okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. But this is something that I'm interested in because I haven't met many women in real estate who have husbands who does your
Mhm.
husband involved at all in your business?
No, no. He starting out, like, we were gonna do it jointly, but his job is so demanding that it wasn't feasible for him to do it with me. So I'm fully, and I'm like way more interested. This is right up my alley. He's a very analytical, systems based, like he's an integrator and I'm a visionary. So eventually when we do when he does come into the business, he'll be an incredible asset on the management side, because that's what he's really good at. He's great at process improvement and analyzing and managing people at, but he's not one that gets excited about talking to people in a lot of social situations, whereas I love that. So meetups are my jam. I love stuff like that.
So let me ask
Yeah.
you this question though, because I think it's super rare. I don't think I've
Mhm.
met many women in real estate who don't have or who have a husband
Mhm.
and their husband isn't involved at all in the
Mhm.
business. I kind of want you to talk about that for a second. I don't know, I just haven't seen it, so I want to know like
Mhm.
how what would you say to women who, have to do it on their own,
Mhm.
specifically, like, even if they have their husband, like, usually once you're married, you're,
Mhm.
like, very used to, like, going to your husband for support, and obviously your
Mhm.
husband goes to you for support. But in this thing, just for whatever reason, they can't support you as much because they have their job. How do you
Mhm.
deal with that? I don't know what you would call it, maybe
Yeah.
loneliness or maybe just understandings. I kinda want you to talk about that because you're one of the only people I know. The women in real estate I know who are doing it by themselves don't have husbands. I think you might be
Mhm.
one of the only ones who has a husband and the husband isn't in the business at all.
Yeah.
I kinda want you to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's not a hindrance. Like, he's incredibly supportive, and if he was not supportive, I can see how it would be very hard, to feel continuing, because if he's so supportive, and when I've been down and, you know, doubting myself or just having a horrible day or whatever, needing support, he understands. Just because he's not in it doesn't mean he doesn't understand what I'm going through and what I'm doing. I communicate to him what I'm trying to do, what the challenges are in my business, what my goals are, all of those things. So he's able to hold space for me whenever I need it. And then in the times when I need, support more specifically, I have my Astro family. So I have my best friends in Astro that I can go to and I can talk to about, the real estate stuff too. So it's the best of both worlds because he's my husband is so incredibly supportive even though he's not in the business, and
Mhm.
then for the things that he's maybe not interested in or doesn't fully understand, and I need somebody that, to listen to me that fully understands what I'm going through, I have my friends for that. So this this community real estate has given me so much. It's given me empowerment to step outside my, smallness and to carve a path out for myself that I can do this and that he's supportive of, and it's given me, just so much empowerment and confidence that I didn't have before. So, yeah,
Love it.
I
Love it.
yeah, he's super
So
supportive though.
this is just a curious thing for me going off since I'm asking you. What's it
Mhm.
like being a woman in real estate? Because it's a very male
Mm.
dominated industry, at least the investor side,
Mhm.
right? But how does that work? How do you feel it gets you treated differently or
Yeah.
how you have to act differently or anything like that? I'm
Well, no,
curious.
so I feel like I'm incredibly blessed that whenever I just don't acknowledge people's feelings that women are inferior to men. I don't even allow
Right.
myself to register that as real to me. So whenever I do get, because it has happened, I've been talked down to, or one time somebody said, "Yeah, have your husband call me." I'm like, "What?"
What?
I didn't even say anything about my husband. And they're like, "Oh, I just assumed that your husband was doing this with you." And I'm like, "Nope, it's me." But I just don't
Mhm.
work with those people then, so I
Gotcha.
move on. Yeah. So I carry myself with a level of, I would say, just I just don't acknowledge it maybe, and maybe that's naive to say because I know that it is a very male-dominated industry, but I think
Mhm.
that you just you allow your confidence to carry you and don't pay attention to it because I think if you focus on that,
Love it.
then it becomes part of your identity, and I think you are more aware of it, and then it can get in your head. Just don't pay attention to it. If someone is treating you differently because you're a woman, there are so many more people to work with. Just move
Right.
on. You don't need that person and you don't want that person. You don't want to do business with them. There are, millions of or hundreds of thousands of other people to do business with. You just don't pay
Love it.
attention to it.
Love it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have no idea since I'm a guy, so
Yeah.
I just move through it.
Yeah.
So
And I
go
think
for it.
also I tend to gravitate towards a more I don't like bringing emotion into this because into real estate. So I do tend to gravitate toward a more masculine energy when it comes to this. So I enjoy working with men because there's a certain, taking emotion out of it too. So I
Gotcha.
guess yeah.
Cool. So, Sarah, I wanna know, what are the fears you're dealing with right now? What are the ones that you feel are still holding you back to this day? And I just wanna know them.
Okay. The fears that I'm still dealing with. I still have a fear of cold calling.
Okay, but you don't really
So,
need to because you do
no,
agents, right? So why
no,
so who
I do
cares? You don't even need to do that.
no. Yeah, I actually don't do agents. I do micro flipping and dispo.
Oh, so you don't need to cold
So,
call anybody.
I mean, yeah, buyers, but yeah, but most of my business is on Facebook. So yeah, so my biggest fear still is like cold calling people, and I know that's so dumb, and I'm just like, why am I afraid of this? I love talking to
But you
people.
also don't need to.
Yeah.
That's a funny but I wanna know one that's like your actually, because that's not affecting you. There's no,
Mhm.
you don't need to cold call at all. I cold called at the beginning when I was doing direct to seller, but I haven't cold
Yeah.
called in over 2 years at this point, right?
Yeah.
But like, what about, do you think there are any fears still holding you back? And you could say no. That would be sick if you said no.
Hmm. Fear's still holding me back. Ooh, that's a loaded question, Jonah. I'm trying to I'm
Here,
trying
I'll
to
tell
think.
you. I'll help you out. I'll tell you mine first off.
Okay.
Right. Let's go through me because I think that helps more than starting off with the guest. The fears that are still holding me back a lot of the times to this day, I think, are the fears of not choosing the right path right now. For me,
Mhm.
is my biggest fear of like, damn, I don't really, this is not as easy to tell anymore if I'm doing the right thing. It's really easy when you haven't done a deal to tell what is the right thing. You just got to stop thinking about it so much. Call 50 agents a day. Just do that every single day and you're going to get a deal, right? That's super simple to understand. I'm dealing now with bigger, more complicated problems. Should I partner up? Is it a good idea to bring an integrator on my team or hire a COO? Do I really have the revenue to hire a COO? What am I going to do if I don't have that revenue? So for me, a lot of it is like there are a lot of crossroads in my business right now that I'm trying to
Mhm.
navigate, and it's not as easy. I can't just go back to the Trainuals. I have Jamil and Pace in them, right? But like even their answers, I'm not as sure they work for me as they did for them in some ways, right? Like I'm
Mhm.
getting to a point where I might need to diverge from my mentors a little bit, or I think I need to, right?
Mhm.
Or that might be just a really dumb idea. I don't really know. So that's my greatest fears right now. How the hell do I navigate this? How the hell do I navigate this thing called real estate to really scale up? Because that's what it is for me
Mhm.
now is how are we gonna go from like 30K, 30 to 40K a month average to 100K a month average? That's like my next thing, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's just different. So those are the fears that are holding me back where I'm like, God, I need to choose something.
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
an example.
For me, it's building a team.
Yeah.
So I know I'm at a point where I need a team, and I need to hire
Do
people,
you
and I
have no
need
employees?
no, I don't.
Yeah,
I
you
had a
definitely
VA
you
for a
definitely need a
while.
VA.
Yeah,
You
I need a
definitely need a
VA,
VA.
but I need a VA that has experience already. So I need a very like a really good VA, and then I need an acquisitions person. So those and choosing those people, and it would be great to have an integrator as well because the
Let's get into it. What are
systems.
you
Yeah.
afraid of specifically though? I'm gonna turn therapist mode a little bit.
Okay.
What
Specifically.
about it? What are
Mhm.
you scared of? Is it, tell me, what
Mhm.
about the building the team scares you?
I'm afraid that if I would bring somebody on, that I would fail them. I would fail them as a leader in instructing them what to do and to make it and to be successful. No, which is it's kind of silly because I'm really good at coaching people and helping them understand things, but I think the responsibility of bringing someone on your team is your team and you are
Mhm.
responsible for training that person and ensuring that they're successful as it's up to them too. They have to put the effort in and be willing to learn and be coachable, but it's your responsibility to be that leader. So I think that is definitely a fear is failing the people that I bring on. So that's definitely I'd say a block for me right now.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not true. That's a lie in your head. Sorry, you're obviously a
Yeah,
good leader. I can feel it the way that you talk on this podcast and every time I've talked to you,
thank
right?
you.
It's that is a fear I had too, right? Like it's a very easy fear. It's like, man, is it you're gonna be dealing, you're like me, you're very similar to me. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Just like your problems are very similar to my problems. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, no, it's not me anymore. It's you. Now
Yeah.
I'm confident that like people I hire, no, 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 no. I screwed up, but how I screwed up was that I hired you for a
Yeah.
role you were not meant to be in, right?
Yeah.
that takes a long time. That takes confidence. I had to
Yeah.
fire somebody today, right? Getting into that, like, I bet you have this fear too of
Mhm.
at least I did. I had fear of firing people. I hated
Mhm.
the idea of ever needing to fire anyone and being like, God, I failed them. It's like, no, you didn't fail them. They just weren't right for the role, and you need someone who is right for the role, and then someone will hire them who's right for their role, right?
That's yeah.
So it's yeah, that's I just want you to know that's it's one of those. And the funny thing is, the thing to get over the fears in the end is just do it. I don't know how
Of
else to do
course.
it.
Yeah.
There's no better answer, even though it kind of sucks in the moment.
No.
You definitely
Just
need
gotta
some VA.
jump.
You
I
need,
do. I
I would say, admin VA for you would be a good one.
definitely,
I
definitely an
think an
admin
admin
BA.
VA would be good.
I accidentally hired my last VA because I was too nice. I could tell it wasn't gonna work out, but I had used some language in the interview that kind of implied that I was hiring her, so I was like, "All right, we'll just give it a try." But
Oh no.
it didn't work out. So definitely taking a position of power, not like authority power, but just confidence power and don't accidentally hire people. But
I,
yeah, yeah, I thank you for saying that. That means a lot.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna be fine. Okay,
Mhm.
so we're closing to the end of the interview because we're at like 104. So tell me real quick. This is how I always end the podcast. There's that question I always ask everyone, which
Mhm.
is Sarah, if you could go back to Sarah right when she's just starting, right when she's about to get into real estate,
Mhm.
and go back, what would you tell her knowing everything that you know now?
Don't feel you have to understand everything first. Just dive in and do it and ask for help whenever problems come up.
I love it.
And whenever you do have things fall apart, don't stop. And if you do stop, just take a breather and then get right back in there because those pauses, if they last too long, they derail you and then they get in your head. So
Mm.
just basically be more relentless,
Give me an
just
example of
right
that.
off the bat.
I'm kind of curious what you mean by that.
Mhm. So going in, I probably honestly, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks in, I almost had my first deal, and I my buyer thought that the ag wholesaler was bluffing, saying that they had somebody that was ready to submit EMD. And he was like, "Oh, get this information. Let's see if we can get a walkthrough." And he's like, "I want it, but I think they're bluffing." And so 20 minutes later, the deal's gone. They weren't bluffing.
Right.
So, be quick. But then the big thing that I paused and I let really get in my head is my first contract. I the agent was it was her brother's house and she was emotionally invested. And so whenever the deal we had never seen the house, so there were things in the layout of it that we couldn't see that when our buyers went in, they were, "Okay, this layout is crazy, and this, and this." And so the price we had it locked up for was not the price that it needed to be. And so when we had to cancel the contract, she laid into me, and she made me cry
Mhm.
multiple times.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was,
Oh,
like,
no.
ugly crying in my car when I had to cancel that contract,
No.
and then I was working with another wholesaler, and he's like, "No, no, we had a buyer interested. Can you go back and tell her?"
Uh,
And so I went back and I told her, I think we do, because she knew I was wholesaling. "I think we do have someone interested. Is it okay if we give it another try?" And she's like, "Fine, yeah." And then we had to cancel it again. And she made me cry again for a second time. And so I let that really get in my head, um and I didn't even speak to another agent for months. And
right.
so that really I let that get to me. And I if I could go back, I would just say that that was about her. What you're doing and your mission is completely separate from that. And yes, that sucked. But the next person has no knowledge or, tied to that situation at all. Move on and let it go. So just clean slate, new page, move on and just keep going, keep going. So I think I would have aligned myself. Maybe I should have joined a team because then I would have had somebody right there all the time telling me, "Don't stop, keep going,
Hmm.
do this." So maybe I think I would have joined a team to have somebody right there with me, telling me, coaching me, because some people need a bit of hand holding and that's fine, and I happen to
Yep.
be one of those people sometimes. So yeah.
Yep. I get it.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sarah,
Cheerleaders.
Sarah, you're amazing. You absolutely killed this interview.
Thank you.
What can we do for you? What can my community do for you? What are you looking for? What do you need right now in your business? You said you need to hire acquisitions people. This might be a good time to try to get
Yeah.
one
Okay.
potentially. What have you thought about what you want? What you could want out of this interview? For easily, I'll just start with at the real Sarah Miller. Right, that's your Instagram handle now.
Yeah, the real Sarah
So
Miller.
follow her on Instagram. That's
Um,
one because she's got some
yes.
really cool content, and you guys have been listening to her voice. You could literally go to bed on it. It's a lullaby,
Aw.
almost. So, what else do you
Um,
wanna plug?
yeah. I mean, send me deals. I'm in the Tampa and Central Florida market.
Is just everyone there? Is
I
that just
know, but
the
you know what?
market?
It is. It's all where all the cool kids are.
I
Um,
might go there next, just screw
I
it. After
mean,
Colorado, I might just come through and just
why not?
do it.
I mean, Jamil says, "Go play in traffic, you'll get hit."
Right.
There's no shortage of deals. It's just, all the time, deals, deals, deals. Now, what I could use as an acquisitions person that I can coach and that is very hardworking and determined and
Do you
focused
have a
to
place for
go,
them to go right now? Do you can I give out your email or are
yeah,
you collecting resumes? Where are we at in that process?
we have not, yeah, I haven't really started that process, but if somebody
Okay,
wants
we're
to come
starting it
on,
today. We're starting it today,
starting
guys.
now.
At the real Sarah Miller, follow her on Instagram, guys. If you want like a professional person who's gonna be absolutely make you crush it in real estate, especially with micro flipping and agents, she will teach you really, really, really well, and she's gonna be like an amazing teacher. Hit her up. What's your email?
It's info@positive-investments.com. So yeah, if you're ready to work and you want to learn, I need somebody to do agent outreach and talk to agents and call canceled listings and do acquisitions for me.
And guys, don't do this unless you're with it for at least 2 years. Send a resume, send a couple play things of like where you are in real estate. Like, she is an amazing person and you will 100% be making a ton of money with her. So she's going to be hiring somebody off of this podcast if I have anything to say about it.
Thank you, Jonah. I appreciate that.
That's my plan. And then follow her at the real Sarah Miller. That's her Instagram. She's building a brand. Anything else you want to plug?
No, just thank you
Send her
so
deals in
much.
Tampa
Yes,
also,
send me deals
Central
in
Florida.
Tampa, Orlando, St. Pete, and also I'm looking for creative deals in West Palm Beach, Palm Beach County.
Are you buying there?
Yes, I am buying there.
You're trying to move into a house there.
Yeah, I'm within the next year, I'm looking for a high-end primary residence in
Well,
the West Palm Beach
Marco
area.
is the right person for that.
Yeah,
He's very active there.
yeah.
Okay, guys. All right. Scorch of Fears, amazing. Next week we will be on same time, 6 p.m. MST. This is episode. I don't know what freaking episode we're on. I think
66,
we're
I
on.
think it was.
I'm glad you know because he didn't put it in the title. He was supposed to my VA is supposed to put it in the title, but he completely forgot. But Sarah, you're amazing. Any last words for the crowd?
Thank you so, so much, and I've loved being here, Jonah. Thank you.
Awesome. Guys, go create your vision boards, crush it, make some money, reach out to her, DM her. And guys, we will see you next week. Let's freaking
Let's
go.
go.